Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Today we will learn how we can integrate our Salesforce environment with the Google Drive. To do the connection with the Google Drive, firstly we need to have an account in the Google Drive as an admin and we need to enable the Google Drive APIs there. Let's type in the Google Cloud Platform and you will see this link over there, Google Cloud Computing Services. You just click on this. And here you will see you need to log in on this Google Cloud with your credentials of the Gmail, and then you can see at the top right you will see a console button over there. You click on this console and you will end up in the on the Cloud Console applications there for the Google. And here you will see the quick access links where you can see all the recent API credentials if you have created any. Or else you can go to this navigation menu and click on this, and then you can see this APIs and services. You click on this APIs and services, and here you will see a couple of options where you can create the credentials or the libraries, the auth consent screens, domain verifications. Just to start with the Google Drive API integration with the Salesforce, firstly we need to enable this Google Drive API for the Salesforce. So just to enable the Google Drive APIs, click on that enable APIs and search for the Google Drive API here. And then you will see this Google Drive API. Click on this Google Drive API and click on this enable. So once you enable this Google Drive API, you are allowing the Salesforce or any other external websites, in case if you have the credentials created for accessing this Google Drive APIs. Okay, so this is enabled now. Then next is you go into the credentials and click on create credentials. Here you need to set up the auth client ID. If you are doing it for the very first time, you might need to firstly select this auth consent screen and provide your auth consent there. All you need to do is just go to this auth consent screen. And since I have already created this auth consent screen, what you need to do is once you are on this auth consent screen, you need to give the name of your application, the user IDs, and nothing else. So for example, I have given here the name is Salesforce Connect, the user email ID, and at the bottom you can see there would be the email address. 7 continue. 7 continue again, nothing we need to do here. 7 continue again, and that's it. So this will create your auth consent, and once you are done, you can go back again to the credentials, create credentials, auth client ID, and here you need to select the application type as the web application. And instead this web client one, you can give any meaningful name. Let's say I'm giving Files Connect, as I would be using this particular auth client ID for the Files Connect in the Salesforce. We'll come back to this authorized URI later, but let's create this. So this will generate the consumer secret and the consumer ID for you. If you see here, you will be receiving the client ID and the client secret. Keep them handy with you because we would be needing them when we are creating the auth providers in the Salesforce. Now go back again to the Salesforce and type in the auth provider. Yeah, so in the auth provider, click on the new, let it open. It's giving me some error because you cannot do this. Okay, so you can just click on this auth provider new. Since I'm running this application or the Salesforce instance in the incognito mode, so that's why it's giving me the cross-reference error. What you can do is you can have this auth provider open in the classic experience, and there you can work. In the provider type, you can type in or you can select as the Google, or also you can select the OpenID Connect. Let's do it with the OpenID Connect. Let's name it as Google Drive. Suffix will come automatically. Consumer key, let me take it the consumer key from here that we have just generated, and the consumer secret, which will be the client secret. Okay, so now in the authorized endpoint URL, you can see this will be available in the documentation, and you need to give this authorized endpoint URL, which is https://accounts.google.com/o/auth2/auth. Then access type as the offline, and the access and the approval prompt as the force. Give the token endpoint URL as accounts.google.com/o/auth/token, and then you can leave the rest of the input boxes to default. But in the default scopes, you need to provide the open ID, because you are going to use the open ID, then email, profile, and then it would be the Google APIs/auth/drive. That's it. Just click on save, and this will give you the callback URL. Just copy this callback URL and go back again to the console view of the Google application, and here click on the Files Connect, and at the bottom you will see this authorized redirect URI. Here you need to give the callback URL that we have just copied over from the auth provider's screen, and save it. Okay, so this will give you the connection using the auth 2.0 client ID secret key with the auth provider in the Salesforce. Now, next thing, just select the files connect. Again, because this is we are reviewing in the incognito mode, so that's why we are having these issues, the cross-reference issues for the cookies blocking. You can go back to this the classic view, and there you can see, and here you need to enable the files connect and use external object search layout. And in the file sharing, you will see two options. One is the reference, one is the copy. The difference of the copy and the reference is, if you select the reference, it will take only the reference of the files or the folders available in the Google Drive. In case if you select copy, it will copy all the folders and the files from the Google Drive to the Salesforce. So for now, we would be going ahead with just this reference, because we don't want them locally available in the Salesforce. Just a reference should be enough for us. Click on save. And since we have already created the auth providers, it's all good with us. Now next is create the permission set. So we'll create a new permission set on this. I have already created a permission set, that is the files connect. What you need to do is you need to create a new permission set, and there you need to search for the setting, which is the Salesforce file, which is system permission, and the permission name is File Connect Cloud. You need to check this box because we are going to connect with the Google Drive. So just have this checkbox checked for the Files Connect Cloud, and then you can go back to the Manage Assignments and assign this permission set to one of your users who would be using this Files Connect as an admin. I have given this to myself now. Alternatively, you can add the assignments, and you can add this permission set to the number of users that you want to add to in your environment. That's all. Next is we can go to the external data source. Click on the new external data source. Here you will see, because you have given the system permission of the File Connect Cloud there, and that's why you have these many options of File Connect as Box, Google Drive, Salesforce Anywhere, Quip, Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft OneDrive for Business. And for now, we are working with the Google Drive. So let's select the Google Drive and give this name as Google Drive. It will come up automatically. Then you have this authentication, and you have two types of authentication providing the identity. One is per user, one is named principals. In case if you go ahead with just one user, it's okay to select the named principals. Otherwise, if you wish, every single user in your system must have its own identity and authorized before accessing Google Drive. You can use the per user selection, and you must assign some security tokens accordingly. For now, for this demo, I am going with the named principles, but in case if you are using the per user, what you need to do is you need to go to the my setting, and then under the my setting, you must have that here you need to provide the authentication setting for the external system, and you need to give the connection names over there. Let me switch it to classic view, and here you will see those definitions coming in. Okay, for now, let me go back to external data source again, because we need to create the external data source. Now, since I have to use the named principles, let me again create the new external data source, type in as the Google Drive, external data source is Google Drive, and then have this as named principles and select the authentication provider that we have just created, which is the Google Drive, and that's it. You just click on save. This will ask you to do the authentication, because you are doing the authentication between the Salesforce and the Google Drive, the account that you are managing. And I am going to use my account, so I will be giving my information there. And if you see, my Google hasn't verified this application that I have created here, which is the File Connect and the Salesforce. If you see the constant screen, I have created an app which is the Salesforce Connect. So Google hasn't verified, but that's okay. You can click on continue, and then you need to give the permission to see, edit, delete, or create the Google Drive files. Click on continue. So you are authenticated now. In case if you receive any error while doing this authentication, what you need to do is you can do two things. Either you can publish your app. In case if you are not publishing your app, you can add the users here and add your email ID that you would be working with, and this should resolve your problem. If you are receiving those many errors, you can just save it by giving your email ID over here as a test user, or else you can simply publish this app that will be applicable for all. In case if you are using the test users, you have a limit, and you can see the limit cap is 100 users only if you are on this testing, if you are at this testing side. In case if it is published app, you will see it in production, so that will be applicable for all. You don't need to again then provide the test users over there, so that's okay. Now, since we have authenticated, and we can click on this validate and sync button, this will sync the external data source, which is Google Drive in our case, and it will just copy the schema of that and sync it. You will see the external data object would be created. The name would be items underscore Google Drive, and you can view all these external objects there. The schema would be created at the back end, and if you see this external object, you will come to know the fields that have been created using the Salesforce File Connect, which is essentially using the Salesforce Connect at the back end. You can see all the fields available with this. For example, the download URL, display URL, creation date, and the folders. Now, if I am looking for this files connect, and if I want to access the files in the Google Drive that I have in my Google Drive, and since we have done this integration in my Salesforce org to the Google Drive, there are a couple of things that I can do. Either I can create a tab, and using that tab, I can go to the tab as well. Let me go back to the tabs and create a sample tab for this, just for the testing or the demo purpose. Yeah, so again, this is giving me an error because I am in the Salesforce Lightning experience and using the incognito mode. I need to select as items for the objects, give any tab style that you want to give it to. and click on next. Let it be default on for everyone, and let's not include the tab for this time, and save it. Okay, so now if you will see here, you can click on this and you must see this Google Drive items, and if you will click on, you will see all the files there. Yeah, so you can see the files have been retrieved, or I won't say retrieved, you are just viewing these files, whatever files you have in the Google Cloud. And if you will click on any of them, you will see a link would be given to you where you can click on and download the attachments or download that particular file, whichever you have, and it will also let you know if it is a folder or not. Second option is to use the files over there, and you can utilize these files, and all those files and folders that we are talking about that are available in the Google Drive would then be synced in the files as well. You can click on this Google Drive, you can see the connected sources, you can very well see what are the shared files with you, what is recent, and this is directly in conjunction with the Google Cloud that you have just synced. And if you will click on my drive, you will come to know all the files that are available in your file. If you have any photos, personal photos, and if it is for the company purposes, you can see all those files information that you have in the Google Drive coming in into the Salesforce files. So two places, two couple of things that you can do. Either you can view all those files in the Lightning experience using these files, and then going to the connected sources, there you can see the Google Drive over there, or else you can simply go back to the sales menu, and there if you will try to click on this app launcher and click on this and search for the Google Drive. Here also you can see the tabs that we created Google Drive, and here also you will see all those options. Previously I showcased you the classic view. Right now you are viewing the Lightning experience view, and here also you will see all those files all those files coming in. It might take a couple of seconds to display because it's just connecting and it's just taking the view picture of those files. It's not actually downloading the system, it's just taking the reference, and using that reference you can simply view here what is the file, when it was created, is it a folder or not, or if you wish to download, you can download that as well. For example, let's say I click on understand bot cookies, definitely it's a file only, it's not a folder, and hence I'm getting the download URL as well. And if you will click on this download URL, the file will get downloaded in your desktop or mobile, wherever you are viewing this. This is all about how we can use the Salesforce Connect and the File Connect to connect the Salesforce or to integrate the Salesforce with the Google Drive. Thank you very much for watching this video.